the cloud. We should be started here. So Kyle, I will let you kick things off for us here with some good news, and we'll jump right in with some content.
Awesome. Yep. We got some good news so far. Not as much as you guys, but we do have a lot of good news so far for the week. So let's start off with from the top down. So we have myself put in 22 and a half hours work, sitting at 1,500 in GAP so far for the week. We got CJ Clark putting in right at 15 hours worked, 11 demos, sitting at 2 families protected for 1756 in GAP. We've got Chelsea, who's already put in 20 hours and 12 demos so far with the post-stated policy that's coming out this Friday. Let's scroll on. We got Jessica Cyberns, who got on the board yesterday. I worked with Jessica yesterday. She got on the board for 2 policies, 774 in GAP, already 16 and a half hours worked. Ken Diggerson is sitting at 1,099 in premium so far. We got Michelle Wera protecting families every single day. Yesterday was her best day so far. She's sitting at 1,837 in premium for the week so far. We got Nasaja Hutchins, who's kind of leading the pack so far this week with 2383 in GAP. And we also had Toy Bellamy with some late night bombs, sitting at 1,056 in premium. So as an agency, sitting at about 10,600 for the week. And we got lots of good, I've already ran 4 interviews so far this week and 2 final interviews, and following up with both of those people today to see if we'll be adding on some people to our team. So, alrighty, over to you, Van.
Thank you for that, Kyle. I appreciate it. Just wrapping up a text message to the crew to get on. This is too good to miss. So moving over to our good news so far this week, Zach Tolbert's OTB protected a family. Josiah Carr, even though he's on vacation out in Utah this week, a well-earned vacation, he protected a family on Monday. So that's pretty cool. Making it happen wherever he goes. Harry Huntley is OTB both days of the week and almost had a pair of 3 out of 3 days. He had 10 hours, 5 demos, a family protected 2 apps on Monday, 5 additional appointments. And then 12 3/4 hours, almost 13 hours worked yesterday, 8:45 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., bringing in the harvest. 13 introductions, 8 demonstrations, 2 families protected, 2 apps, almost 1,600 in premium, and picked up a referral as well. So Harry is feeling the heat on the way to his green out. Great job, man. Ed Zicada also joined along yesterday. Ed had a 2 out of 3 Monday with 9 hours. Oops, I take that back. Did not get the 2 out of 3, so did not turn into a sale day because of that 4 demos. But Tuesday did. Got his demos up to 6, and then lo and behold, 2 families protected, 6 policies, $2,842 a premium, 3 appointments set each day, 2 referrals each day, and a direct recruit each day too. Just a great stat line there, Ed. Keep it up on his way to his green out too. Brian Glazinski, it's like clockwork. You check it out. You got 10 hours on Monday and 3 demos equals no sales. Not a 2 out of 3 day, right? But you come back with Tuesday with a 3 out of 3 day, 11 hours, 8 demos, and guess what? Sales. It's pretty cool. 8 policies sold, 4 families protected, 3,500 in premium, and 9 referrals just yesterday. Excellent work, guys. The 2 out of 3 principal guys, it works. Liam McAllister, speaking of 2 out of 3, hovering right at the numbers on.
Everyone is doing great.
Hey, let me mute it. Thanks, Izzy. So 2,251 on Monday, and then comes back with over 10 hours worked, 7 demonstrations, 2 out of 3, turns it into a 3 out of 3 day with the Builders Week in a day. He is sitting just under his green out for the week at 4,800. 8 appointments set so far this week too, 6 referrals, and using the phone as well. Smart work. Todd Stiles is having a good productive week here. He had a 2 out of 3 day Monday with 9.5 hours. A family protected for 3 policies over 1,200 in premium. Followed up with a 3 out of 3 day, actually a 4 out of 4 day, 10.5 hours, 7 demonstrations up over that 6 demo threshold. And guess what? 4 people bought, 8 policies, $3,714 of premium, and a direct recruit. He is just a base ICU plan away from his green out for this week too. And then Trish Dale's the story so far of the week. She went out and had $9,360 of premium yesterday, just making the most out of it. I know some of that was held over from last week that had to get turned in this week. So yeah, 4,900 on Monday, 24,198 on Tuesday. So yay Tuesdays, we love them. So yeah. Gang, I want to talk to you guys today about a very, very, very important part of the sale. And here we go. Adobe Acrobat looks a little different than it did before. Here we go. The part I want to talk to you about is the transition to the close, okay? And guys, the transition to the close is a very, very vital part of our deal. It's the part where we've finished up the presentation, right? We've done a really good buying atmosphere. We've created a need with questions. We've gone through and we've fulfilled that need with our product, with our service, and shown them how the benefits will help them out. We've shown 3 or 4 or 5 testimonials or IRAs throughout the demonstration. Guys, if you're showing anything less than 4 or 5 IRAs in your demo, you're showing too few. We've done a great price buildup, okay, where people are assuming that it's going to be $700, $800, $1,000 or more, just like health insurance, and then we're dropping the bottom out, showing them that it only costs $147 or whatever the cost is for their family with the perceived value. And now we're getting ready to move into the close. We are transitioning into the close, okay? Now, guys, when you transition into the close, there is a specific part. We don't just jump from the price, giving them the price to doing the close. We need to do something called the transition to the close, and that's where we build momentum by having the prospect answer multiple questions where the answer is yes or positive answers, or having them share what they like the most. Okay, because guys, remember, people believe about 50 to 60% of what you as a salesman say, because they know you have ulterior motives, right? You get paid when they buy. So they're not going to believe everything you say, because they assume salespeople might say a couple of untruths or bend the truth a little bit in there to get you to buy. Okay. But people believe more like 90% of what they read in the testimonials, because they're from disinterested third parties. The people that wrote your IRA, they don't get a spiff or a bonus if that person you're demoing buys. So it makes it more believable when you read IRAs. So instead of you saying things, let other people say them through the IRAs. But guys, guess what? People believe 100% of what they say. Okay? They say it, it's true. So the more you can get them to say what you want said, as opposed to you saying it, the more likely they are to buy. And guys, that's a skill. That's an art. It's something that needs to be practiced and honed and used on a daily basis. If we go out and we don't get people to talk and we're just out there rambling on, we're leaving a lot of families unprotected and a lot of income on the table that we could. So with that said, guys, I want to share with you guys, this is a 51st Eagle written by a former partner of mine and dear friend, Mr. Matt Kirby. Still keep up with Matt to this day. Lives here in Raleigh, a beautiful individual. Matt, just to give you a little backstory, his plan when he came to work with us in the fall of 2001 was to be here for 3 years. He had a 3-year plan to come in and sell a bunch of insurance and make enough money to pay for grad school. He wanted to go get his master's in business, and he was accepted. He worked here for 3.5 years, was accepted to the Darden School of Business, that's UVA, up in Charlottesville, where he graduated at the top of his class and did exactly what he wanted to. So what a great story of somebody coming and getting exactly what they came for. But this was Matt's, this was written in 2004 in September. So Matt had not quite been here, not quite 3 years yet when he wrote this Eagle. So just do the math on that. 51st Eagle in less than 3 years. He was averaging about 18 to 20 Eagles per year. So in 48 sales weeks, 20 of those weeks are Eagles. So good person to learn from. Almost half his weeks were Eagles. This is back when our group was known as Southwestern Legacy. It's so old. So wrote 955 units. What's a unit? Well, a unit's how they used to measure sales back then, but it was $11,559 a premium and 23 applications sold. I'm just going to share with you his eagle, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll field a couple questions too, but I'm going to stop my video so you guys can actually see Matt's eagle. Can you guys still see my screen though?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So to everyone in Legacy, it was great to see at our meeting last week. It's always a good time to get together and learn and have fun. Howard, thanks for making the trip down to be with us. I look forward to seeing everyone in Cleveland. That was where our, I believe our 15-year anniversary was getting ready to come up, which is pretty exciting. I'll share with you a technical tidbit I taught at our recent meeting that was helping me do well. We all know the close is important, but I think even more important than that is the transition to the close. This is the point where the prospect actually makes a decision in his or her mind to buy the insurance. Here's a 5-step transition, and I hope you guys will take notes on these 5 steps here. 5-step transition that will increase your closing percentage. All right. 1, Kyle liked the coverage because of the peace of mind. Brad liked the coverage because the money was paid directly to him. What did you like most about it, Susie? And then Susie will tell you what she liked most about it. Matter of fact, why don't we have, I know we've got Brandy on here. I heard her voice. Brandy, why don't I do the transition to the close with you? We'll kind of role play it and you can answer for me, okay? So Brandy, let me know if I got the thumbs up on that. Is that cool? Okay, someone who's on, speak up for me, will you?
I can be Susie.
Sounds good, Brian. You'll be my other guy.
Susie.
So Brian, what Kyle Schneider liked about the coverage was the peace of mind that it gave him, knowing he would have that protection. And what Brad Phillips really liked the most, Brad and Susie really liked the coverage because it was paid directly to them, and they can use that money any way they wanted to. What was it that you liked best about it, Brian?
Well, I just think the peace of mind. I like the peace of mind, kind of like what Brad said.
So, okay, so peace of mind, kind of like Brad. So let me ask you, why do you say that?
Well, just, you just never know what could happen. And, I just, God forbid, something like cancer were to happen to my family. I just want to make sure that my family is taken care of, and I don't leave that burden on them.
Absolutely. Guys, if they give you a little bit more of a nebulous answer, then you would just say, a lot of people mention the peace of mind or that security. What exactly do you mean by that? And then that's what Brian just did. He expounded on that answer. So that's the sound of him buying with him answering that question. Then, now, Brian, knowing that you are married with no children in the house yet, okay, why would it be important to you and your wife to have this coverage?
Well, kind of like what I just said, just having that peace of mind, I just know cancer is very expensive, and if I'm not working, if I'm going through cancer, my wife, Alini, she's going to be there with me, taking me back and forth. So that's double income loss.
Right on. Guys, that's knowing their specific situation. So that's when you're telling them, knowing that you're a single mom, okay, with 2 kids at home, knowing that you're married with no kids yet and you're a double income family, or knowing that you're married with no kids and you're a single income family with it mostly relying on you. As by this stage, you know what their situation is, and that's what you're filling in right there, whatever their situation is, okay? Knowing that you're nearing retirement and neither one of you will be working here in the next 3 to 5 years, why would it be important for you and your family to have this coverage? And when I say their specific situation, this should be their hot button. It could be that the prospect is a single mom that has to work 2 jobs. It could be that their entire family has had cancer. It could be that they're an older couple and don't want to be a burden to their family later in life. Now, share an emotional cancer story from your area that parallels their situation. So guys, if I'm talking to Brian, I want to have an IRA, ideally from a younger couple, not married, no kids, because that matches up to Brian's situation in life. Okay. For example, if they have young kids, share a story about a child that had to travel to St. Jude's for the best treatment. If you don't have a specific story, you can always share the spare tire close. And guys, this is so key. You know, Brian, one of my customers compared this coverage to a spare tire. You know, he said that everyone has a spare tire in the back of their car or truck. You don't plan on ever using it, right? But you got it there just in case. He said that he didn't plan on ever using the coverage, but at least he'd have it there just in case. When you think about it, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And guys, you'll notice that on the page here, it says she. Why do you think I changed that to he when talking to Brian? Anyone, one person, take a wild stab.
To make it more personal to him, and, you're comparing him to another guy. Yeah.
Because Brian's a dude. That's right. And I'm empowering Brian to make this decision. When I was talking to him, I was talking to another dude who purchased this. Okay. It's a small thing. It's a subliminal thing, but it's another thing. Little thing that makes a big difference. When you're talking to guys, you want to share guy stories, third party. When you're talking to ladies, you want to talk about ladies you were talking to, moms you were talking to, spouses you were talking to match up with them. Okay. Little things that make a big difference. And you guys couldn't see me because I turned off my camera. But when I said, when you think about it, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? What nonverbal cue do you think that I was just doing?
Nodding your head.
Nodding my head up and down. Another small subliminal thing. But guys, when you nod your head up and down, when you want a yes answer from your prospect and you're answering that question, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And you nod, they start nodding. Guys, don't skip these little things that make a big difference, okay? Remember, sales is not an exact science. It's an art, and it's a Broadway play put on by a psychiatrist. So know your lines and know what nonverbal cues to use and when to use them too. Back into role play. Ask, how would it make you feel knowing that if something ever happened, Brian, to you or Alini, that you'd have that peace of mind, you'd have that protection there, that financial safety net there for you guys. How would that make you feel?
Make me feel really good.
Why do you say that?
Just knowing that, you know, the family's taken care of.
Yeah, would feel really good, wouldn't it?
It would.
You guys, this isn't in the Eagle here, but Brian gave me a very short answer. He said, it would make me feel good. That's the kind of answer I get from like my 14-year-old son and my 12-year-old daughter. How was your day? Good. I follow up with every time, why do you say that, guys? What made it good? That short answer, I'm going to ask why. Remember, guys, the longer your answer, the longer your question, the shorter their answer. The shorter your question, the longer your answer. Okay? I asked this big, long question. How would it make you feel knowing if something ever happened to you or Elaine, you'd have that financial safety net around you? How would that, and then circle back around, how would that make you feel? Just to kind of remind him that it was a question. By the time I got done, his answer, a long question, his answer, it would feel good. Short answer. When I asked a short question, why do you say that? He gave me a much longer, more detailed answer. That, again, is the sound of Brian buying insurance from me and protecting himself and his wife. Okay? After this, go straight to the close. What everybody likes about the way we do business is the fact that the application process is so doggone simple. It's really, look here on my iPad. It's just a page. It really is nice to have a simple application, isn't it? And what am I doing again?
Nodding your head, bobblehead.
Nodding my head up and down, guys. If you're out there not nodding your head, guys, in your close and your transition to close and building that momentum, you're missing the boat. Give these nonverbal cues. They work. The main goal of the transition is to get the prospect talking as much as possible, and you do this by continuing to ask digging questions. I hope this helps. Matt Kirby, Family Heritage. Guys, let me hear from the peanut gallery here. Let's hear some takeaways from that part, because there's a lot of good in there. But again, I want you to talk because I want to hear that you got it.
Dan, it's that's good. I think it's as simple as just asking a lot of questions at the end. And I've kind of had this talk with several people in our organization recently, just how you want to ask what, why, and how at the very end. And at the very least, just do that. You know, what was it that stood out? Why do you say that? Or how would it be important? You know, how would you feel knowing if something like that happened? You had this in place. Great. Why do you say that? And then how would you feel knowing if you didn't use it, you at least got your money back at the end of that 25 years? You know, just the what, why, how.
What, why, and how it works.
And Van, I love it. And I love whenever I'm asking these questions, especially that second question, the why question, you know, why is that so important for you to have a backup plan for your family? I really like to just kind of bite my lip and just let them speak for like as long as possible. Because the longer they speak right there, the more, you know, the higher chance that they're going to buy something. So make sure that when you're in this transition to the close that you just like don't say anything until they get every single word out that they want to say.
Right on. Guys, your words at this point are not nearly as valuable as their words. So as salespeople, we always just want to talk. Sometimes we get diarrhea of the mouth. We think if there's empty space, if there's a quiet spot, we've got to jump in and say something. Sometimes you just need to let that uncomfortable silence settle and wait for them to talk next. So anybody else, guys? I know we've heard from a couple leaders. Anybody that's been here less than a year have anything that they gathered from this that would make me feel really good to know that a new person, at least one new person, got
this is James. I feel like what you're doing in that point is you're allowing them to talk themselves into it if they're unsure about the decision, which I think is good. You know, like you said, you can talk and build the space, and you're trying to talk them into it. But if you ask that kind of a question, even if they're unsure, sometimes them talking it through, that'll solidify the decision in their mind because they hear it coming from themselves, and then it makes more sense to them and it's more personal. So I think that's where sometimes that can be very effective.
Right on. Thank you, James, for that. I appreciate it. Well, guys, listen, I appreciate you being on today. I encouraged everybody to be on, be early, be ready to rock and roll because this is short and sweet. But guys, this doesn't happen by accident. Getting good at little pieces of this kind of stuff happens in the evenings. It happens when you've gotten home and the last thing in the world that you feel like doing is doing technical study. What you really feel like doing is pouring a nice cold one and turning on Sports Center or your favorite whatever show that you watch and just putting your brain on the shelf until 8 o'clock the next morning. But guys, if that's what we do, then we're going to wake up with the same skill set that we went to bed with, that we went out yesterday. And guys, going out with the same dull axe or same unsharpened saw, trying to bring down the mighty oak tree, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing today you did yesterday and expecting to get better or different results. The way we get better, guys, is working on our business outside of IPA time. And IPA stands for income producing activity. Guys, we should be 40 to 50 hours per week minimum working in our business. And that's out in the field, calling on prospects, getting in front of people, getting in sales and closing situations. We should also spend a minimum of another 2.5 hours, which is just 30 minutes a night, working on our business, not in, but on our business, so that when we do go out and work in our business 40 to 50 hours a week, it's a more productive 40 to 50 hours. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's a little excerpt from a book I read probably 20 years ago called The E-Myth, and the E stands for entrepreneur. Great book if you want to check that out. But working on your business in addition to working in your business so you get the best results. Thank you guys for being on. We've got some great momentum going from yesterday, and let's keep that momentum going. And guys, I challenge you, let's run through the finish line this week. Let's make Friday our best day of the week. And let's make sure that it's early in Q4. We're setting the precedent for the rest of the quarter right now. And if we're going to be okay and settle for whatever results we can get by doing the things that we like to do, which is, taking off on Saturdays or knocking off early on Fridays, and we're going to be okay with that $1,200 or $1,800 a premium, or are we going to form the habit of hitting our goals? And if we have to go out and we have to work late Friday, or if we have to go out for 4 hours and do 3 demos on Saturday, we start getting in the habit of hitting our goals, then we're going to be in the habit of hitting it by Friday. And pretty soon we'll be in the habit of hitting it by Thursday, and we can start enjoying 3-day weekends, having hit our goals financially, because that's what it's all about, guys, is having a life you can build your business around your life, as opposed to having to build your life around your business. Thanks for being on, guys, today. Have a great Wednesday, and thanks for being on. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.